Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Chris. Thank you for checking out the video here today. We are going to be looking at the Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer UL jacket. So this is an amazing piece. It is probably the ultimate when it comes to lightweight, packable down warmth. Simply an incredible jacket. It's in a class of its own. So we're going to be talking all about this today. I'm going to tell you all about it, show you some close-up pictures, show you its features. And then the second half of the video, we're going to be comparing it to the standard Ghost Whisperer jacket, as well as an older Arc'teryx Cerium SL that I have here. So a pretty interesting comparison. I will give you a lot of facts all throughout the video. So hopefully by the end of this, you'll really understand what this jacket's all about. And hopefully if you're in the market to purchase, a lightweight down jacket like this, this can really help you out to understand what might be right or not right for your needs. Okay, so let's dive into this. If you're new here, we talk all about all different types of outdoor apparel, everything from base layers to jackets, pants. We get into some boots, backpacks, even Maui Jim and Costa Del Mar sunglasses, as well as some Yeti products. There's a ton of videos here, several hundred videos at this point, and they're all broken up into different categories in the playlists. So if there's something in particular that you're interested in, please use the playlist to help narrow your search and navigate around a little quicker so you can find things a little easier. All right, anyway, let's get into this jacket. Bottom line is, if you are looking for the ultimate in lightweight, packable down warmth, this is it. This isn't going to get any better. This is a great jacket. It's unbelievable. When I took this thing out of the package, I was like, oh my gosh, there's nothing in it. It's like air, right? Really, really lightweight. Now, that being said, I have owned this Arc'teryx Cerium SL for a few years now, and it's very similar, right? But I immediately grabbed this jacket out of my closet and held the two of them up together and realized that the Ghost Whisperer UL was really lighter. And that really surprised me because this has been an amazing jacket for me. I love this Cerium SL. It's been great. This is such a super light jacket, but this is even lighter. So again, we're going to get into all this comparison stuff a little bit later. I'm just kind of giving you a broad overview of what this jacket is actually like. So it's 1,000 fill power of goose down. It's going to be, the highest quality, the lightest, fluffiest down feathers you're going to find. Amazing here, lightweight. The outer face fabric is a 7 denier ripstop fabric. So again, absolutely lightweight, packability, and warmth are the three main features here you're going to get with this. There's not a lot of bells and whistles. This jacket is very simple. The more bells and whistles we add, the more zippers, the more pockets, all that stuff, the more weight we're adding, right? So this is very simple. It has 2 pockets here on the sides. Just plain, simple, nice pockets. They're average size pockets. They're great. There's nice zipper here with a little pull on them. Really good. This jacket, I'll show you in a little bit, actually packs down into the right pocket here, so you can stuff it all into the pocket and zip it up and stick it on your harness, your backpack, and carabiner, whatever you want to do, and take it with you. Great. 2 hand pockets. There's no chest pockets. There are no pockets on the inside of this jacket. Nothing. Lightweight, packable. It does have a helmet compatible hood. I'll show you the hood in a minute with the helmet. It is a smaller hood. It fits really nice without a helmet. It has little elastic stretch bands here around the sides, and on the top in the front here there is a little brim that is a little bit stiffer material. It's probably a very extremely thin, I don't know if it's a little plasticky piece inside there, but to me it almost feels like the consistency of like a piece of construction paper. It's that thin and light, but it is just enough that it adds a little bit of rigidity here in the front of the brim to help hold it out so that any rain or something that can come down will not fall on your face. Now, let me say this. I'm saying rain. This is a down jacket. We don't want to wear this in the rain, okay? We don't want our down jackets to get wet. It's going to lose all of its insulating value if that down inside here gets all clumped up, sticks together, and it loses its ability to trap that hot air inside of it. So if you're going to be wearing this out in damp conditions, wet conditions, it's best to wear a nice soft shell or hard shell over the top of this that will protect it and keep it dry. It does have a PFC-free or PFAS-free DWR coating here on the outside of the fabric, and that will just help to repel a little bit of light moisture, but again, you don't want this out in the rain. Really, really nice jacket. This little elastic band that goes around the hood here on the sides is going to be great, you know, if you want to wear a beanie underneath this, if you want to wear a baseball cap underneath this, it's going to help to seal up around that really nicely. So let me throw this helmet on for you to give you an idea of how this hood fits with a helmet. This is my Black Diamond half dome. It's just a very standard basic helmet, right? And putting this hood on over it, it fits. It absolutely fits. It is getting a little tighter, however. As I said, this hood is not huge. It's not really a big hood. There are no adjustments on this hood. There's no pull cords in the front. There's no pull cords in the back. Okay, so there's not a lot of room for adjustment here. Thus, the hood is not very big so that you can wear it without a helmet. We're trying to find, I guess, Mountain Hardwear is trying to find a happy medium here where you can wear the hood without a helmet and be comfortable, and wear it with a helmet when you need to and still be acceptable. So yes, this fits. It does well. It does pull up here on the underneath the chin a little bit, not very badly. It's comfortable. But what I do notice is that as I'm spinning my head around, my helmet is almost trying to stay stationary under the hood because it's getting a little tight and restrictive. Of course, I can tighten up the helmet a little bit too, but again, my point is it's a little tight moving it around. Can you wear a helmet under it? Yes. But are there better options if you want to wear a helmet? Yes. Okay? So that's that. Now, this little elastic band that's around the sides of the hood here is exactly what they have around the cuffs here on your wrists. Just a very thin elastic band around it to add a little bit of stretch and adaptability here, you know, if you're wearing gloves or something. That's it, plain and simple. That same band also goes along the bottom hem of the jacket. Now, it doesn't go all the way around. In the front here, there is no elastic band, but from here, from the pocket, and the pocket down and all around the back is just a very thin, simple elastic band to help hold it tight. There are no draw cord adjustments on this jacket. All right, again, lightweight. The less features, the less weight. So that's what this is all about. So that's basically it, all right? It's a very simple jacket. Again, if you're looking for that ultimate lightweight warmth, this is it, right? Really, really cool piece. All right, so let's get into comparing this now. Well, you know what? Let me go do this first. Let me show you this with a couple layers. All right, first, while I have this on, let me show you a light, basically a wind shell jacket that might go over top of this nicely. So this here is the Mountain Equipment Aerofoil jacket. It's just the one I grabbed out of my closet. Also, there's Arc'teryx makes the Squamish hoodie. All these companies, make a lightweight wind shell. And this is basically just a very thin, you see how lightweight this is, jacket that when you put it over this Ghost Whisperer UL, or any lightweight jacket, what it's going to do is it just helps to block the wind. So blocking the wind is going to add a lot more warmth inside because that cold wind chill is not coming through. And it just adds, I like to look at it as like a second layer of skin, just a light layer over the top to help hold in that heat, block that cold air, and it makes a big difference. These two jackets are extremely lightweight. You hardly know you're wearing this. This is incredible. This is an incredibly light combination. Now, for years, I've always had my Arc'teryx SL, and I've always worn that with the Squamish hoodie. Now, the Squamish hoodie from Arc'teryx is a little heavier than this, but it's still an ultra lightweight, just nylon wind shell. And those two together have been awesome for me. So just putting these two on together now is even lighter. slightly lighter, but really a cool combination. Okay, so for your reference, I am 6'2", about 210 pounds. This is a size extra large. All these jackets are size extra large. Now the fit on this is a little interesting. So it's a really nice fit. It actually fits very similar to the standard Ghost Whisperer. It has a trim fit, but yet there's a little bit of room underneath it for a light layer. So I have a little fleece I'm going to put under it in a minute. What I do want to point out with this jacket, something that I kind of noticed right away, especially when I just looked in the mirror, is the fact that the sleeves here on this jacket, on this upper half of the sleeve, there's a lot of material here. The bottom half of the sleeve is cut nice and trim, like a normal jacket. But on top here, I feel that there's a lot of extra sleeve. It's a lot bigger and bulkier here on the top, on both sides. Now, this can be a good thing, right? If you're wearing layers underneath it, absolutely, it's giving you a little more room. If you're, a bigger guy, you have bigger arms, you have more room. It's going to be great. And the other nice thing about it is that I found that it's going to help when it comes to movement, right? It's not going to restrict you or limit your movement at all. It's actually bigger here. There's more material to allow you to move. So that's kind of nice too. Now, I do have to say, I did wear this outside the other night, and I'll get into this more when I talk about the comparison here with the other two jackets, that I was wondering if having this being a little more bulky and baggy up here, if I would feel a little more chill through it. It's not as close to my body. It's not trapping, that heat so closely. Am I going to feel a difference? And I did not. I did not feel a difference at all. I was nice and warm all throughout this jacket. Okay, just something I wanted to point out. So that's basically it. This jacket's pretty simple. Let me throw on my fleece underneath this, and then I'm gonna take it off for you and stuff it into its pocket to show you how it packs up. So just bear with me here. So this is the Mountain Hardwear Polar Tech Grid Full Zip Hoodie. So this is a really great fleece. I really do like this one a lot. It's just a really versatile, warm fleece, mid-weight fleece that's actually got some nice features. It has some thumb loops here over your hands. That adds a nice touch to it. The hood here is really nice as well, as that it has a nice little scuba hood, like most fleeces do. And if you want to wear a helmet, you can wear that helmet, on top of this fleece. However, this material is super stretchy here, and it will actually fit over the top of a helmet. So it gives you that option, which is pretty nice. All right, so as I said, this jacket has a really nice fit to it, and it does allow for a light layer to be worn underneath it. So this fleece absolutely fits beautifully here. underneath the Ghost Whisperer without adding any bulk or restricting your movement. So a really nice fit here. So I really do like the fit of the Ghost Whisperer and the Ghost Whisperer UL. They fit great, just like my Arc'teryx jacket does. So really, really cool. So yeah, so here's a fleece underneath it. Plenty of room, unrestricted movement, really nice. So if you want to wear a fleece under it for a little extra warmth when you need it, a little extra comfort, a little extra moisture wicking ability, or a nice soft shell or a hard shell over top of this is absolutely perfectly sized for all of those uses. Okay, let's pack this thing up into its little pocket. All right, so it all stuffs into the right pocket here, the right side pocket. So you kind of just start turning it inside out and stuffing it all in there. Now, I want to talk about this for a minute because I do have a couple jackets. I have tested a couple other jackets in the past that are very similar to this, very lightweight, down packable jackets like this that stuff into a pocket. I have a problem with this. While it is convenient, while it works, it stuffs down here and it makes things really nice to kind of just carry it and stuff it into its own little pocket and throw it on a carabiner, a hook or something on your backpack, on your harness, whatever. Okay, so basically here's your package. All right, nice small little package here, very lightweight. Here you go. What I want to point out to you here, and it's not just this jacket. Like I said, I found this in several other, especially these really lightweight down jackets with thin materials. Personally, I don't like this. I don't like it at all. The fabric is so soft, thin, and delicate here that when you try to zip this up, things really get tight on it. It's really stretching and pulling. Now, I mean, once you have it zipped, it's all fine. But the other issue that I find with a lot of these is as you're zipping it up, it's very often that I zip up the material on the inside into the zipper as I'm pulling it up. The material that's on either side of the zipper on the inside, and it's hard to see here, but I'll blow it up. But on the inside here, very often gets caught up in that zipper. And it's very easy to rip and tear this because it's so thin. It's a 7 denier material, right? So I don't like this. Now let me say this, once you have it zipped up, once you fight with it and not rip it and get it zipped up, there is a little hook here, a little strap like thing that you can hook onto your backpack, a carabiner, or whatever you want to do and carry it with you. All right, but I don't like this design for these ultra lightweight, delicate jackets. Now my Arc'teryx Cerium I like a lot better because inside the pocket is attached a stuff sack. All right, and this whole jacket will pack down inside this stuff sack, and then there's a little draw cord here with the little lock thing that comes down and seals it up. And you have this whole little cable here to hook onto your backpack, your harness, your carabiners, whatever, and your entire jacket is in a little stuff sack. And that stuff sack stays in your pocket. So it's not like you're going to lose it. It's actually attached inside the pocket here. So I find it a much easier design, a much safer design, so you don't rip and tear your jacket, get caught up on the zippers, okay? Just personal opinion, something I want to point out here. Just be aware of that and be careful with that. I don't know if any other of you out there have had similar issues or concerns, if jackets have ripped on you like that. But that's basically, what I have found with this stuff. All right, so that's that. Let me take this fleece off here because I'm going to get kind of warm. And let's talk about comparing now this mountain equipment, the mountain hardware Ghost Whisperer UL to the standard, I'll call it the standard Mountain Hardwear Ghost Whisperer, and then to my Arc'teryx Cerium SL. All right. So what are the differences in these? So let's get right into the nitty gritty here. Right off the bat, it's going to be weight, right? What's the weight of these jackets? What's the difference? Why are you spending, more money on these different models for a lighter weight? Okay. So I do not have the original, the normal Ghost Whisperer here with me. I just did a review on it just last week. And I had the jacket here. I ended up sending it back because I got this one, all right? But I can tell you all about it and, compare it to this, without any issues. So right off the bat, as we're talking weight, that original Ghost Whisperer here, the pictures that I have up here, that jacket on my little scale here that I have weighed 300 grams, okay? So it's really lightweight. That's a lightweight down jacket, okay? Most other synthetically insulated jackets or, your normal just down average jackets are probably in a range of 450 to 550, 600 grams. This one here is 300 grams. So definitely an ultra lightweight jacket. Now these three pieces, right, they're a very thin down jacket. These are not designed to be worn out in, minus 10-degree wind chills. They're not that heavy, that bulky. They're not stuffed with, a lot of down. They're basically designed to give you the most warmth at the lightest weight, okay? But that doesn't mean it's going to be still as warm as a, big puffy down jacket. The fill power, if you don't understand what fill power means, I do have another video here on the channel where we talk all about that to help you understand the differences in fill power, what that means, and sometimes why a jacket that has 1,000 fill power might not be as warm as a jacket with 800 fill power. It's simply because the, one jacket has more down in it. All right, so we'll get into that, in a video up here, but just pointing that out. So 300 grams. On the standard Ghost Whisperer. My Arc'teryx Cerium SL. This, like I said, it's about 3.5 years old. I've had this jacket for a while. It's awesome. This has been my standard. This has been my lightest weight down jacket that I have owned. This one is 270 grams. Okay, so 30 grams lighter than the standard Ghost Whisperer. Great jacket, right? It's an amazing jacket. This UL, Ghost Whisperer UL, is the winner, all right? Without a doubt. 230 grams this weighed in on my scale. All right, so the standard Ghost Whisperer was 300 grams, my Cerium SL was 270 grams, and this one is 230 grams. Amazing, absolutely incredible. Now, they're all super light jackets, right? Is there a huge difference between them all? No, but I'll tell you what, you can feel a difference. When I first got this jacket and I got it out of the bag and I held it up, I was like, wow, this is amazing, right? So I immediately went to my closet and grabbed my Cerium SL and was like, I think this is a little lighter. And it is. Now, I basically did the same thing when I got the standard Ghost Whisperer. I compared it to my SL, and I said, they're really close. They're really close. But, yeah, this one was a little bit lighter. But the difference between the Ghost Whisperer Standard and the Ghost Whisperer UL absolutely is noticeable. It is definitely noticeable. This thing is like filled with air. It's really amazing. Okay, now let's get into this a little bit more. The other night I took all 3 of these jackets outside to see how warm they were. What's the difference in actual warmth? So it was 45 degrees outside. Not super cold, but definitely cold enough that I would feel a chill if the jacket wasn't, very warm. I mean, if I went out with a t-shirt, I'd be cold, right? At 45 degrees. So it was a calm 45 degrees. It wasn't windy. It was just a calm, steady 45 degrees. And basically what I look for when I take these jackets outside and test them for warmth, I want to see if they hold my body heat, okay? So I'm not going outside doing high output activities because that's a whole nother ball game. If you're doing, climbing, if you're skiing, if you're doing something where you're sweating, you're generating a lot of heat, then a lightweight jacket like this is going to be better for you even in colder conditions. But if you're just sitting around outside, if you're just walking around your backyard like I do to see how warm they are, if you're out camping and you're just sitting around a campfire, right? Just static, movement. How warm is the jacket? So that's kind of how I gauge things. Does it hold my body heat? Do I go outside and do I feel a chill? Or do I go outside and feel comfortable and, it's holding my temperature? Or am I going to be sweating in this thing, all right? So with all 3 of these jackets, I was warm. I was comfortable. I kind of want to say that this UL version might be just a little bit warmer than the standard Ghost Whisperer. That one has 700 fill power. This has 1,000 fill power. That might be in my head. Just saying, that might be in my head, thinking that this should be warmer. So maybe when I go outside, I just feel that this was a little warmer than the standard Ghost Whisperer. Now the standard Ghost Whisperer is heavier, right? It's 300 grams. This has a 7 denier fabric. That one I believe has a 10 denier fabric, I believe, if I remember right. But again, very similar, but it's a little more weight. So what they're doing is, even though the standard Ghost Whisperer is 700 fill power, it probably has a little more down in it to make it similar in warmth to something like this. So all 3 of these jackets outside really kept me comfortable. I did not feel a chill, that was significantly different in any one of these. The big difference is the weight, all right? This jacket being, 70 grams lighter than the standard Ghost Whisperer, kept me just as warm as that one. That's the point of this, okay? So all 3 of these jackets, if you're looking to buy the warmest, they're all 3 going to be the same. They're all going to be very, very similar, slightly different. This may be a little bit slightly warmer than the Ghost Whisperer standard one, but that's it. You're buying this for its weight, okay? So 1,000 fill power down, 850 fill power down, and 700 on the standard Ghost Whisperer. All kind of give you basically the same warmth, just different weights, okay? So that's the whole thing here. Okay, so let's get into some of the other differences in these jackets. All right, this jacket here does not have any pull cord adjustments on the bottom, right? Just that little thin elastic band. My Arc'teryx Cerium here does have a pull cord adjustment on both sides. The Ghost Whisperer standard one does have very small pull cord adjustments on the bottom. Very small, but they're there. All right, the hoods. This has no adjustments at all on the hood, just the elastic bands here. The Ghost Whisperer standard one does have the elastic here around the hood, no other adjustments. The Arc'teryx Cerium does have a pull cord adjustment on the back of the hood here. All right. So, you know, different companies, as with everything, they make them slightly different to make their jackets different or unique from something else, right? And that's all. They're not major things. All the cuffs on all these jackets are just similar. They all have just little elastic bands around them. Now, this Arc'teryx has what they call down mapping. It actually has some synthetic insulation here up on the shoulder. There's an area here on the shoulder that has synthetic insulation, a little bit of synthetic insulation here right around the collar, and also on the cuffs, on the bottom cuff here, and the bottom hem. So all areas that are a little prone to gathering a little more moisture here has a light synthetic insulation. On the Ghost Whisperer, the standard one, it simply has a little synthetic insulation around the cuff and on the bottom hem. This jacket here, I believe it's all down, everywhere. I did not see anything in the descriptions that talks about any kind of synthetic insulation around the cuffs or the bottom hem. So this is all down throughout the whole jacket. Again, keeping it lighter weight. All right, so just some basic things. So all of these jackets have very thin, very fine zippers, right? Because again, lightweight. You're not going to put a big, hefty, bulky zipper on it. And in general, these jackets are not designed for durability. They're pretty delicate pieces. They're very thin fabrics here on these. So, you know, if depending on your use, you got to be careful. If you're wearing a shell over this, a soft shell, a hard shell over it, then absolutely, you know, you can wear this doing about anything. But if you want to wear this standalone, I don't think you're going to be, you know, rock climbing. I don't think you're going to be ice climbing. They're not very abrasion resistant. You even have to be careful if you're hiking through the woods, you know, and you're brushing against, you know, branches or sticks, whatever. You don't want to rip this. It's a very thin, very delicate jacket, meant for lightweight, right? Not tough durability. So just keep that in mind as well. If you're looking for a down jacket from Mountain Hardwear that's a little more durable, a little more versatile, then perhaps something like the stretch down hoodie might be a good choice for you. And I have a review on that here on this channel as well. That's a really nice jacket. All right, basically that's what we have here. So there are some differences, nothing major, but there are some differences between them. The biggest thing is, warmth-wise, between all these jackets, they're going to be very similar. Not a huge difference, but the weight is going to be your main issue between all these jackets. Okay, size and fit, all very similar. Definitely, you know, they're built to be layers, a mid-layer with a shell or a jacket on top that you can wear a light fleece layer, base layer, something underneath it without any issues. All right, that's about it. I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope it all helped you out and, you know, answered a bunch of questions, kind of taught you about this jacket and how it differs or similar to other jackets. And yeah, thank you very much for watching today. I really appreciate your time. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the little thumbs up, the like button here. Subscribe to the channel. There's a ton of stuff here for you. So if you're going to be spending some time here and looking at some videos, I really do appreciate your support by subscribing. And, you know, you'll know when I put out new videos and you can keep up on the latest and newest things I do here. So thank you again very much, and hopefully we'll see you back soon. I'll have another video for you. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.